In this video I'm going to show you how I mixed and mastered my latest track, Pull Up. We're going to go through it in sections. We'll look at the drums first, then the basses, then the vocals, then the instruments, and then the effects. And if you want to follow along more easily, then download this project template, which you can see on the screen right now, link down below. It'll just mean you have the same layout as me and the same layout on the mixdown as well. So you can produce on something similar and then follow along just as easily. You'll have like the drum buses and things like that as well. So let's start by looking at the master channel. So all we're doing is mixing into a Pro L, and the gain on the Pro L is 1.3. So this is just a limiter. If you don't have Pro L, then you can use like Fruity limiter, which is down here. And then I've got U lean loudness meter, so we can test the loudness, especially on the drop, and see what kind of LUFS value we get. And for this track, I think I got about -5 to -6, but we'll check that at the end. If you wanted to mix even louder, you could mix into a clipper instead for mixing loud. It's just up to you. So first, the hi-hat. So this is coming in at about -12 dB, and I've changed the sound on here first before it goes into the mix channel, just for gain staging purposes. We've also got quite a bit of reverb on it down here, and that's feeding into the loudness as well. Now it's just that for the first 16 bars, and then we introduce more elements. So the hi-hat speeds up, and we introduce this clap as well. And this clap is a bit louder. And we've also got some effects on this clap here to make it reverbed. So what's happening with this clap? Let's have a look. So we've got this EQ, which is turning it down, because when it comes in later, it goes a lot louder. So this is actually quieter than it is at the moment. Then we've got this reverb being automated to make it a bit more appealing in the intro. So you'll see at the moment, let's play it from here, you'll see how quiet it is. And we always change the volume on here first. And then listen to what it changes. It goes a lot louder. You see this turning off. Then it goes loud again. Then this hi-hat here is a little bit louder. And then this ride here is very quiet. The ride is very quiet, quieter than the initial hat. See there, we're getting like -15 to -18. So then all these together, just reaching 0 dB. So then everything stays the same, but we introduce our kick drum. Now the kick drum stays the same volume throughout. You can put a little automation on it as well if you want, but this is going to be the loudest element of the drums, the kick drum. So this is going to be running into the mixer initially at just below 0 dB. And then if we add any more processing, we just put a G clip on the end to chop off any sounds. Just make sure it doesn't chop off anything too far. If I'm lagging a bit, then I apologize. My PC is going crazy. So you see there, the kick drum's coming in very loud. And then what I've done is layered this clap with a snare here to give it some even more loudness. So you see this coming in a bit louder now. See here? But it's still considerably quieter than the kick drum. I always want your snare to be a little bit quieter than the kick drum. Then we've got these build-up loops coming in. So these are going to be quite quiet. This one as well. Always changing the volume on here first. You see basically all these along here are like untouched because I just do it on here, on the side here. I'll link my gain staging video down below if you want to watch that to see why I do that. Let me get this. And then on the drop, all the elements are pretty much already used. So I'll just show it to you. Focus on these bits here. Kick drum the loudest, clap slightly quieter, and the hi-hats more quiet in the background. And you see at the bottom here, we've got all these on mono, the hi-hats on stereo. We want the kick and the clap to be sitting in the middle of the mix, and the hi-hat sitting more around the mix. All this then gets sent to the drum bus here, and this has got a Pro L on it. And currently, it's hitting just above 0, but we'll just put this limiter on it to bring anything down. And we're just gain reducing that top bit there. Pro L does a really good job of gain reducing stuff and still making it sound good. You can use a G clip instead if you want it to be even louder. It's up to you, but for this track I just did that. You can also add parallel compression and distortion on the side here to get even more loudness from your drums. I haven't actually put anything on these, but you can put like a compressor on here, a distortion on here, and just add even more loudness to the drums. So now let's look at the basses. So I use a really easy method for the basses. All the basses go through limiters, and they're just blasted, so there's a little bit of gain reduction, so they hit a max volume. So it's basically just compressing the bass so the whole sound hits 0 dB. And then if you do this across all your basses, so the second bass as well, and the respace at the end here, all the sounds will now be pretty much at the same level, so there won't be any weird noise differences between each bass. They'll all be slapping in. If your sub is on a different channel, then I normally put that about -3 dB, and then the bass is still at 0. And then it's all coming into this bass channel here, where we can put another limiter on it. I put a G clip on it because my CPU was exploding, and you can do like further EQing if you want. And then I've just nudged it down 1 dB on here so it's not overpowering the drums. But if you've got enough parallel compression and parallel distortion, you don't necessarily need to do that if you want it to be even louder. So now let's have a look at how I mixed the vocals. So the vocal is just an already processed vocal from Splice. So this is what it sounds like.
I like the way you're going down in it, down in it.
So it already sounds pretty good to me, so there's not much that needs doing. And all I did was put a reverb on it. And I don't really recommend doing this all the time, but because this was like a vibey intro, if you listen to it with the rest of the sounds.
I like the way you're going down in it, down in it, down in it.
The reverb just kind of worked with the rest of the Atmos. Normally I wouldn't really recommend that, but it just worked. And then it goes into this other vocal that I found, and all the sounds pretty much sound the same levels. And I just, again, tweak them on here if I want to change the level. And this one's just a little bit quieter than that one was, because I thought the aggression of it was a little bit more, so it kind of sounded louder. And then all the little effects in the drop here are pretty quiet, so. Apart from that drum, that should be in there. You see, it's quite considerably quieter than the rest of the basses and the drums. They're carrying it, and these are like sort of in the background supporting the tune. Yeah, I don't think there's a little bit processing on the pull-up one, so I used a Klar vocal stereo and a Pro DS just to get rid of some of the harsh S's. But that's it. You see, I'm using so few plugins, just the essential ones that really make the difference. And then the instruments, let's have a look at these. So these are some loops again that we've blended together. So here's one. Now I've turned it down on here, so we're getting -12 to 15 with a reverb on. And then that's layered with this sound. So this one's a bit louder. This is the carrying melody. It's got a sound goodizer on, and that's it. You gotta love that. So we're getting like between -3 and -6 for this one. And then the counter melody, about -9, and then all together we get this. So we're getting about -3 there. And you'll notice the vocals, if we bring the vocals in,
I like the way you go.
the instruments are louder than the vocals because we want the vocals to be the most present in the mix and the instruments to be supporting the vocal. That's very key as well.
I like the way you're going down in it, down in it.
That's why these buses together here are so useful on the template as well, because you can literally not only audibly compare, but you can visually compare as well. And that really helps, especially if you're learning to produce. So now let's look at the final bit, the effects. And these are the background stuff. So these always want to be quiet. So let's have a look at these ones now. So at the start here, we've got an impact, a riser, and some rain. Let's listen to the impact first. Now the impact is actually one of the most loudest elements I use. And that's coming between -6 and -9, just because it's hard to hear it because it's so like low end heavy, and I like to be able to just hear it. Now this riser, super quiet. Look how low down this is, -27 dB. And then let's listen to this rain. This is how quiet this is. Again, like -27 down there. Everything's super quiet. You just want to be able to just hear it in the background. These risers here will be a little bit louder because it's building up to the drop. And you see there, -6 to -9. And then that's it for this one. Any one-shot effects in the drop I actually did with the drums up here. So I'll just show you a couple of them. You'll see that they come in at like a perk level. So like -3 to -6, just supporting the drums. But nothing crazy loud, because you want them to be a little bit, you want them to like fit in with the percussion and the hi-hats basically. So that kind of level. So like this hi-hat in there. Let's listen to these ones. Yeah, so you see there -3 to -6 as well. Similar, maybe even a little bit louder, just depends. So that's basically a rundown of the mixdown. All of this is running into these channels. The sidechain here is happening on the bass bus. I'll leave a tutorial down below if you want to learn how to sidechain. So we've got limiters or clippers on the drum bus and the bass bus in particular, making sure they don't like redline before they go into the master. But then everything that does come into the master is going to be redlining. And then we either use a clipper if we want it to be really loud, shave off the peaks, and then get the loudness to max, or use a limiter to like sort of compress the levels down and then gain reduce them. In this case, I've gone for a limiter because I think this sounds the cleanest. So let's listen to the drop here and you can see what it's doing. So it's given some big peaks, but the average is what we want to focus on. And the average is like between 0 and -3 dB, which is fine. We could even push it a little bit more. You just got to listen for your ears for any distorting, which isn't happening, so that's fine. And then if we look at this on the U-lean loudness meter, we're getting about -6 lufs, which is good. So that sounds clean. If we were to use like a clipper instead, we would get it even louder, but it would start to lose a little bit of the quality. You really need to mix into the clipper rather than mixing into the limiter, which I haven't done here. So you see we're now getting it a bit louder there, -5.5 lufs. So that's a video complete. Here's what the final product sounds like. If you like this tune, it's called Pull Up. It's out on all platforms. I'll leave a link down below if you want to listen to it. If you enjoy my teaching method, then my Music Production Academy is available to join as well. That's down below in the description as well. Any questions that you have at all, please let me know in the comments down below. I'll try my best to answer them as best as possible. And in the future, I will be mixing even louder, so stay tuned for that. We'll be getting -3 lufs at some point, don't you worry. And if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about mixing and mastering, why not watch this video here where I take you through the step-by-step process of how I mix and master my tracks.